It's another WRAL weather alert day due to heat and severe storms. Who's in line for severe storms today and when we could see a break in the heat?
Lightning strikes. Two families are out of their homes after fires during severe weather. The damage that lightning caused, including an explosion.
Possible teen curfew. Raleigh is considering limits on how late people under the age of 18 can be out. The questions WRAL is asking after this past weekend's widespread violence.
Last night's storms dumped 2 to 4 inches in places across the area, but they didn't come without lightning and thunder, and we could see those storms again this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Chris Lovingood. Obviously, we've been talking about the drought that we're in. We say, hey, we need that rainfall. But the issue here, Elizabeth, is that some places received too much rain in the same spot under a short period of time, which led to flooding last night.
Yes, and there's some parts of the viewing area, like the Sandhills, that really haven't seen any rain in the last couple of days. We do have that level 1 risk in store again today, so we have the chance for some more wind damage, possibly some flooding. Afternoon and evening will be the timeline. Our southern counties are back under the heat advisory again, similar to yesterday. This afternoon, storms will pop up. There probably won't be as many as there were the last couple of days, but again, if they do fall across parts of southern Durham and northern Wake County, there could be some flooding there because we've had a lot of rain there in the last 2 days. Our southern counties are back into it again in terms of that heat index. It's going to feel more like 106 for Fayetteville, Clinton, and Goldsboro. Elsewhere, it should feel like maybe 100 to 103. It's a pretty start out there in places. Steamy currently. This is a look at downtown Raleigh from the well departments. 73, both our dew point and our temperature. So not very comfortable out there. Currently, the Doppler radar is quiet, but once we get into the afternoon, we'll see more storms. With storms developing, it should be a little bit cooler today with highs in the low 90s. But we are looking at the chance of some near record highs by Friday, and we'll have decreasing chances of rain until the weekend. We'll talk about why the chances could go up again coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth here at 6:01, checking your morning commute. Rather quiet start so far as we take a live look at I-40 and Gardner Road. This is not far from the South Saunders Street exit there coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area. And as we widen out the view, we're not picking up any delays whatsoever. If you're coming in from Knightdale, you're coming in from Wake Forest and US 1. For those of you coming in I-40 westbound from the Garner-Johnston County area, delay-free as well. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
This morning, we're learning more about 2 house fires that left families out of their homes. They happened during severe weather last night. One on Southampton Drive in northern Wake County, the other on Yarmouth Road in Raleigh. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is live outside Raleigh Fire Station 6. And Kirsten, lightning caused both of these fires.
Renee, firefighters responded quickly to both of those incidents. Prime examples of just how dangerous storms and lightning can be. Now, the Raleigh Fire Department says one lightning strike led to an explosion at that home not far away from here on Yarmouth Road. Take a look at this video showing the scene around 10 o'clock last night. You can see firefighters on scene going inside the house, and RFD says lightning hit a gas line, causing a gas leak, which led to an explosion after the homeowners turned the breakers back on. There were no injuries, but 2 adults and 3 children were displaced. Now take a look at this scene in northern Wake County on Southampton Drive. Firefighters believe the fire at this home was also caused by a lightning strike. You can see damage to the house near a propane tank, and we spoke with the homeowner who described the moment he and his wife realized something was wrong.
And she said the entire living room just filled with this orange bright light. And of course it was extremely loud. And I was sitting talking to her, and then I started seeing smoke rising from off the deck.
Yeah, you can imagine just how scary that situation was for them. Thankfully, that couple made it out of the house in time and was not injured. However, we were told that one firefighter was treated for minor injuries. Live in Raleigh, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Raleigh city leaders are now considering issuing a curfew for people under the age of 18. And this is happening days after 9 people were hurt and dozens were arrested during mass violence last weekend. Let's go ahead and go out to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's reporting on that story from us live from Glenwood South. Kelsey, city leaders, they want to make sure that nothing like this happens again.
Yes, Chris, Raleigh city leaders say they're taking action. Around 8,000 people were estimated to be in the crowd here in Glenwood South when that mass violence broke out. Most of those people were teens and young adults. So let's show you this video here that captures the moments after there were multiple shootings, fights, and arrests made in Glenwood South and Briar Creek over the weekend. Raleigh Police Chief Rico Boyce and Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell are both backing a new teen curfew. Those hours would be from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Mayor Cowell says teens and young adults from as far away as the coast were involved in the chaos last week. She says this type of violence cannot be tolerated in our city.
I have heard from a lot of residents who are just angry, and I mean, I get it, right? I mean, and to see the pictures of officers being assaulted, and then by children sometimes, I mean, it's heartbreaking and horrifying. And I understand the desire for accountability.
These are the questions we're asking city leaders this morning. The first one is, how would this curfew be enforced? And then from there, what would the punishment be for breaking it? City leaders are expected to make a vote on this curfew at some point next month, but we could see an emergency curfew issued before that. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Raleigh police are conducting an investigation this morning on South Saunders Street. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene at the Claremont Inn around 5:30. We saw officers investigating the hotel's parking lot. We've reached out to Raleigh police to get more information about what happened there.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center following several updates on a war in Iran this morning, where President Trump this morning in Turkey says that the ceasefire agreement is now over. The U.S. Central Command says that forces have begun launching a series of powerful strikes against Iran to impose heavy costs for targeting and attacking commercial shipping crewed by innocent civilians in an international waterway. So I want to go ahead and show you some of that video from the U.S. Central Command here, showing some of the strikes from overnight. We're also learning from Iran that their Revolutionary Guard says that a member of its naval forces was killed this morning in the port city of Bandar Ekmashar. Tensions continue to remain high because of all of this. The U.S. Central Command says it targeted more than 80 sites, including Iranian air defense systems, coastal radar installations, and anti-ship missile capabilities. Meanwhile, Iran's military is now warning of what it calls a crushing response and says it will not tolerate U.S. interference in the Strait of Hormuz.
Related to that, Laura, oil prices have surged after those new strikes between U.S. and Iran. The global benchmark jumped nearly 6% to more than $76 a barrel. And the U.S. benchmark rose nearly 3% to more than $72 a barrel.
A Smithfield woman accused of child abuse and running an unlicensed daycare facility will be in court today. 26-year-old Brooke Reiner was arrested yesterday. Authorities say that happened because an 8-month-old was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. An arrest warrant says the infant has a brain bleed and needed emergency surgery. Reiner is accused of throwing the baby onto a changing table, and police say that baby is still hospitalized in serious condition. Reiner is being held on a $5 million bond. Now, the arrest warrant also says the baby had injuries from being hit in the face, in the head, and in the abdomen. Reiner is accused of providing child care while unlicensed at a home on Cloverdale Drive, and the Smithfield Police Department is asking anyone with information to contact them.
If you get your power from Duke Energy, your electric bill could be going up. Yesterday, state regulators heard testimony in Duke Energy's request to raise rates. The company says it needs more money to upgrade the electric grid. Regulators questioned whether customers can afford another increase. Duke Energy testified that about 1 in 5 residential customers is behind on their electric bills. The Utilities Commission is expected to decide on whether to approve the rate hike later this year. Governor Josh Stein signed the state's first comprehensive state budget in more than 1,000 days. The $34 billion plan gives raises to teachers and state employees. It also cuts income taxes again, and it pours millions into projects across the state. Stein says he strongly disagrees with parts of the budget, but he said he was not willing to hold up pay raises for hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians.
All right, so there was a dramatic comeback in the World Cup. Lionel Messi and Argentina came back with that plot twist to beat Egypt in advance of the quarterfinals. You see, Egypt led 2-0 with just over 20 minutes left before Messi assisted on a goal and then scored one of his own to tie things at 2. You're just showing off now, man. Argentina got another goal before it was all over, giving them the 3-2 win. And they'll now move on to play Switzerland in the quarterfinals on Saturday. What a comeback. Okay, so today is an off day in the World Cup. The quarterfinals get started tomorrow with France and Morocco at 4 p.m. It's Spain versus Belgium on Friday, and there are 2 games on Saturday. In fact, you can watch them all on Fox 50.
Looking for justice. The family of an 18-year-old who was found dead after a boat trip with his friends have hired new representation. Why they hope this will help them get answers about his death.
And staying safe in the heat. Local doctors are seeing an increase in heat-related emergencies. So we'll talk about ways you can avoid a trip to the hospital.
And of course, it's going to be another hot day. And we did have some rain yesterday. We'll repeat that today. Some of that rain making it steamy and a little foggy in places this morning. I'll show you what to expect when you head out the door.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, same pattern as yesterday. We have the potential boundary to produce some scattered showers and thunderstorms. It's another level 1 risk like we saw yesterday and the day before. The only difference is our southern counties are not included. Our southern counties haven't had as much rain, especially the Sandhills. Now, Sampson County did have some damage yesterday, but a lot of the damage and heaviest rain has been from the Triangle area northward. We won't have as many storms today. It's about a 30% chance to 40% chance, but the timeline will be the same. We'll see those storms starting just after lunchtime and continuing into the evening. A couple of looks like drops of rain here on the camera lens at RDU. So there might have been a little patchy fog earlier, but the sun's starting to break through there. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 70s currently, and visibility is looking okay. We've had some low cloud cover, Roxborough, Durham, and Raleigh, but not a lot of widespread fog. Lunchtime 89, and we'll see a high of 92, but part of the viewing area is under a heat advisory. I'll show you why coming up. Ken?
This is with weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We look at a live traffic map this morning. This is a crash at Buffalo Road at I-540. We're not picking up any delays. Similarly, if you're getting ready to come in from Holly Springs, Fuquay Arena, Main Street, 401, all delay free at this hour. And of course, if you're coming in from Gardner, we've checked all those routes as well. Benson Road, Timber Drive, the I-40, Highway 70, all delay free. You're getting ready to head to the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Well, teams are trying to stabilize the Manhattan high-rise building after it almost collapsed yesterday. 2 of the building's columns buckled, and that led to cracks and sagging floors. Well, nearby buildings had to be evacuated, and late last night, engineers said they are confident the installation of temporary measures is working. A complaint was filed against the owner of the building, and it claims the owner violated approved construction plans.
The family of an 18-year-old who was found dead after a boat trip with his friends in Mississippi has hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Nolan Wells' body was found off the coast of Horn Island in Mississippi. He was last seen with a group of friends on Saturday. Authorities say his friends are cooperating with the investigation. Wells' mother is asking for videos and any documentation from the island. She says her son was a special soul and was always willing to uplift others. A federal judge blocked a grand jury subpoena for information about 2020 election workers in Georgia. The subpoena was part of the Justice Department's investigation into how that election was handled in the Atlanta area. The U.S. District Judge called the scope of the subpoena staggering. They said the use of subpoena power to investigate the election was not legitimate, citing the statute of limitations for any potential crime.
Just a heads up for you drivers in Fuquay Arena, you're getting a new DMV office, and it'll be 4 times larger than the existing one. There will also be 16 customer service locations.
In Durham, there's a new temporary driver's license office. It will be open while the South Miami Boulevard office is closed for bed bug remediation. A spokesperson for the DMV says a customer brought the bugs in. The temporary office is in the Uplift Community Center on Palmer Street. It will be open from 8 to 5 through Friday. The permanent office on Miami Boulevard is scheduled to reopen Monday.
Prolonged summer heat has led to a surge in ER visits, and doctors say numbers will likely continue to rise with more hot days ahead. Over the 4th of July weekend, WakeMed ERs treated 30 patients for heat-related illnesses, and during that same period, UNC Health treated 50 patients. Duke Health says right now the number of patients they're seeing in 1 week is what they would normally see during an entire month.
People might think, oh, 75 degrees or 80 degrees at night, that's not too bad. It was over 100 today. It's actually a very dangerous time. Our research shows that overnight temperatures over 75 can really drive patients or those at risk into a crisis.
Well, it's also important to remember not everyone has access to AC. Plus, people right now cannot rely on opening up windows to cool down. So here are some other things you can do to stay cool. Drink a lot of water. Take cold showers. Even soak your feet in cool water. You can also wrap your arms up to elbows in cold cloths. Well, as you know, heavy storms and winds, they hit Wake County so hard last night. In fact, this is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker on Glenwood Avenue. That road was closed off between Pinecrest Drive and Ebenezer Church Road because of flooding. Drivers were told to avoid the area and use caution at the time.
That flash flooding, that's what happens when we're getting those heavy downpours all at one time in one area, and other places also had to deal with flooding.
Absolutely. And it's really the same places yesterday that we saw the day before. And so that adds to the flooding problem in Durham. In the last 2 days, we've seen more than 3.5 inches of rain. And it looked like a little bit like what we saw on Glenwood Avenue, where we just had a lot of ponding there on the roads. One thing you never want to do is drive your car through a flooded road, even if it looks like it's safe. Those people who are stopped are definitely doing the right thing. So keep that in mind as we may have more flooding. Look at this house too. Their entire front yard is flooded all the way up to their porch. I'm sure the kids think that's fun, but it is not fun if that is your house, that is for sure. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that water inside. So we have that potential again today. This is a look at where some of the storms were. There's yellow boxes at about 5 o'clock yesterday. Of course, everything has tapered off, but it is warm and sticky out there this morning. This is a look at the where we had the heaviest rainfall over the last 2 days, southern Durham County, northern Wake County, and then over there across just a very small section of Sampson County. Elsewhere, when you see the blue and purple shaded areas, that's where we saw at least an inch or more. But notice from southern Wake County down toward Fayetteville and Southern Pines, right here in the Sandhills, we just haven't seen very much rain at all in the last 2 days. It's random in terms of where we see thunderstorms pop up. Certainly, they tend to pop up along boundaries of where they were the day before, but that may be one of the explanations why we haven't seen it in the Southwest. South Durham at 3.6 inches, RDU 3.5, 3 inches in Oxford, 2 inches in Rocky Mount, but only 1/4 of an inch in Fayetteville and for much of the Sandhills. We had a cluster of severe storms in northern Wake County and in Durham in terms of wind damage there. We also had some wind damage just north of Fayetteville and north of Clinton there in Sampson County. So just some scattered reports of trees down. That severe threat for today is from Lillington and Goldsboro northward, so it does cover most of the viewing area, and the timeline will be similar to yesterday. It'll be partly cloudy until those storms start to pop up early to mid-afternoon. Potentially during the evening, we'll see a line of storms dropping in from Virginia, again in our northern counties where we've seen most of it so far. So wind damage, trees down. We can see scattered wind damage reports for today and the low chance of some scattered flooding. We're not looking at hail out of the system. Our chance of storms goes down Thursday and Friday, but then back up over the weekend. And so if you're going to be out and about, just make sure you're checking in, download your WRAL weather app and turn on the alerts. Between now and the next, say, week or so, we could end up with easily another inch of rain in some places. And don't forget our heat advisory for our southern counties where it could feel like up to 105 to 106 this afternoon. We're close to a record high on Friday at 98, but look what happens after that. As we get into a better chance for rain on Sunday, we're looking at cooler temperatures. Our highs are back into the 80s for Sunday and Monday, which will be a nice break from this intense heat, Ken.
Yeah, yay for the 80s. And yay if you're getting ready to head out the door right now, because it's been really quiet so far as we take a live look at I-40 and Harrison Avenue. We're picking up a little bit of fog, but nothing that's really going to affect your visibility, and really and truly very little to no delays on any of our major routes. You're coming in from Wake Forest, you're coming east on I-40, even coming in from the Garda-Johnston County area, delay free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Time on the clock is 6:21, and we're talking about saving for the future. You see, Americans fear they may not have enough money to retire. And so 5 on your side will explain what you can do right now to stay ahead.
Helping farmers. The drought is making it difficult for farmers to keep up. How specialists at NC State are stepping in to support them. If you see breaking news or have a story tip or take video or pictures of the weather where you are, please report it to us. Go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tip to our news team. The drought is creating serious challenges for livestock producers. Specialists at NC State want to help. NC State Extension says without rain, pastures are dying. That's leaving farmers struggling to feed and water their animals. The Extension has launched a disaster portal offering financial assistance to help farmers offset their losses.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Mariska Hargitay has been tapped by NBC, and Dolly is headed to Broadway.
And Ken Smith is here to talk about it and what's trending this morning.
Yeah, we'll get to Dolly in just a little bit, but let's start with the nominations for the 2026 Primetime Emmy Awards being announced later this morning. NBC says Law & Order SVU star
You got it.
Mariska Hargitay will host television's biggest night. This will be her Emmy hosting debut. Hargitay is the first woman to host the Emmys in 15 years.
Hargitay has 8 nominations to her credit. She did win one in 2006 for Outstanding Lead Actress for her role as Olivia Benson.
Yeah, and she does a knockout job with that, too.
Yeah. So, Dolly Parton's story is headed to Broadway. Dolly, a true original musical, will follow the star's life, loves, losses, and how she found her way in her own words. The music legend says it includes some of her biggest hits and new songs Parton wrote for the show.
And previews for the musical will begin at New York's St. James Theater on December 7th before opening on January 19th. But she's got a new mega gas station she opened. She's got new music she's dropping. Dolly don't know when to quit.
81.
She is a national treasure.
Incredible.
All right, thanks, Ken. Well, hey, there's this popular business on our coast that's expanding, Britt's Donut Shop. Maybe you've heard of it. It'll open a new location in Charleston, South Carolina. And if you know, it's been serving fresh donuts in Carolina Beach since the 1930s. But this is actually the first summer without longtime owner Bobby Nivens. He died back in October. Your timer now is 6:27 on this Wednesday morning, and we're talking about fires caused by lightning. 2 separate homes destroyed after their houses caught fire. How one homeowner recounts what he saw.
And we also had some isolated flooding yesterday. We'll have the chance of that again today, along with the severe threat, meaning we could see wind damage as well. I'll show you how early the storms could start coming up.